Okay, I finally have all of the lights up. Everything is working. Every wire is tucked away. Every harness is checked. Everything's good to go. So I figured it'd be a good time to actually post a video of what the house looks like. Give you a quick tour around the house so that you can see where everything is, how it looks as a whole. Then I'll show off some settings that I've custom made. As you can see, goes all the way around the sides, around the back of the house. Over the deck. Next year, in the spring, we'll be around the back of the house. Come on, focus. Then it wraps up over the side of the porch, along the upper roof on the left side. And since I wanted to make sure that the kids could see it from inside the house, I made sure to line the inside of the porch with more lights. That way they could sit in the front room and see the lights. It syncs up pretty well, but with WLED, I can't specify zones to link. Eventually, if I switch to X lights, I'll be able to completely sync different channels by position and not by LED number, but WLED is not that advanced, which is fine because I wanted something simple and reliable for the first year. Now I'll show a few different presets, stuff that I have put together. Well, this is Blue Cloud. The effect is called Fairy Twinkle. Figure for the people who are actually watching this that want to see exactly what colors, what palettes, what effects, I'll call them out. Oh, and what you were seeing in the beginning was actually custom. I'm going to do a second video of breakdown of behind the scenes and how I set up all of my custom stuff, just so that I can go into more detail instead of in this video. Okay, apparently this effect is mad. There, now it's happy. It's funny. The solid blank, which is what this is this is the C9-2 color palette. The way to make it display like this is you do blink and then turn the speed all the way down to 0, so it's just solid, but it sort of makes my controller mad, but I can't figure out another way to do it. So every once in a while, with this effect in particular, I have to reboot a couple times to make it happy. That's life. This one, it's called Fall, also Fairy Twinkle. I think it's more Christmassy. It's supposed to look like the changing leaves, but to me it just looks like Christmas. Whatever. In case you just want actual solid colors, you can do that. That's forest green solid, gold solid, this one is green and purple Fire 2012, and the way that I made it look like it's coming from both ends is I had to mirror certain segments and not other segments until I basically just got it how I want it to look. There's no, for each system it's going to be different. So I'll go into some of the steps in the behind the scenes one, but how I did it won't be how you will do it if you're trying to do this too. I personally don't like the C9-2, the one that was the solid before, just because it has like brown in it. Brown is not a Christmas color, at least not for Christmas lights. So I created my own one of green, red, orange, blue, purple, yellow. Those to me are the classic multicolor Christmas colors. That I had to do with the custom palette. I run multiple controllers, one basically for the right side and upper level, and one for the lowers and the left side, in essence, and the porch. The way you sync, you have to have the same palette on all your controllers. Once you have that, you can have presets and have your main controller that then sends a sync signal to your other controllers, but you have to have the same palette across every controller, or else it'll send the effect, but it won't send the color palette. Hopefully in a future WLED update, it's able to send that data, but for now you have to have the color palettes set across all of them, and that's relatively easy to do with JSON edits inside of the actual code itself, which again I'll go into in a separate video. This is the green, red, orange, blue, purple, yellow as fireworks. This one is same palette. The effect is called phased. I sort of like it. It's twinkly, but it has motion, and then but it's also a wider width of color. So like from the street, it's easier to see the blocks of color instead of individual pixels, which sort of get washed out from a distance, and it's hard to see the different colors from that far away. Then green, white, and red fairy twinkle. And green, white, and red is also a custom palette that you have to make, because weirdly you can't do 3 colors as this. You know, I think you might be able to, but the ratios are off, as dumb as that sounds, where I had to do custom just to get it to look how it should in my head, because the white is so strong that it overpowers everything. Green, white, red, Meteor Smooth, and this is the version where it's green meteor, white trails, red background. Orange Yellow Fairy Twinkle. I like this one. It's a good fall one that I was running in October leading up to Halloween. Orange Yellow Candle Flicker. It's hard to see in video. From what I can see in person, it looks fantastic, but it's too subtle on video really to catch how it looks in person. Purple Green Fire 2012. Same one as before, but I just reversed the colors. Purple Green Meteor. Red and White Chase 2, where this is basically the candy cane effect. The only reason I don't like this one, for my house in particular, is my upper and lower and the fronts are actually split into two separate channels. What I really need to do is go back through my settings and regroup those 2 channels at the top and 2 channels at the bottom so that it's a smooth effect all the way across instead of broken up, because I know where to look whenever I see it and I just see where the effect breaks. But slightly neurotic. Most people probably wouldn't notice that or care. Let's see. Red, White, and Blue. It's one of the ones I use for Bills games. Go Bills. Red, White, and Blue Fairy Twinkle. Red, White, and Blue Fireworks. This is the one that I always use for when the Bills score, because I'm a giant dork and I like it. Red, White, and Blue Meteor Smooth. This is the one that I really like having go on Sundays whenever the Bills are playing, because just love how it looks. Red, White, and Blue Noise 3. I like this one. It's a little bit too spastic, chaotic for me, but I like it. Red, White, and Green Fairy Twinkle. This one's slightly different than the one before, where this one does have slightly more red in the palette. Then Red, White, and Green Meteor Smooth. Red meteor, green background, white trails. This one is Sunset Palette Fairy Twinkle. It's mellow. It's very purpley, like in person, that most of the colors combine into just like a nice reddish purple glow. So aptly named as Sunset. the Noise 3, I like how it looks, but it is just too fast for my preference. This one is palettes called Temperature, where it's supposed to look like a heat map, and the effect is dancing shadows. I like this one on the WLED instance I have in my kitchen, which is LED strips, not LED pixels that these are. I like it better in the strips because it's more diffused and it looks more cohesive. This, it's just too broken, but I haven't deleted it yet because I'm hoping that they fix the effect eventually. And then this one is called Ocean is the palette, Flow is the effect, where it sort of just looks like waves coming in and out, and then watercolors. So that's basically what it looks like now. My plans for next year: custom make some frames for all of the windows, make a few for the door downstairs, maybe around the garage, and then on the posts on the porch. That should be it for the lights, other than I am also going to do house numbers that'll sync with the lights, but that I have to design and do other stuff, so that's not quite ready. It's a spring project. Oh, and I did forget to mention, these are YPS, or Your Pixel Store, Duo Data 12 volt pixels, GS 8208s. I'm running WLED, I don't know the version off the top of my head. And then for controllers, I have 3 separate controllers all synced. One of the controllers I don't even have plugged in currently because there's no data going to it or anything attached to it, so it's not needed, but it's there. And then the controllers themselves are QuinLED, Dig Octa, and then for power distribution, it is the 7HC, the high current versions, and then dual 600 amp power supplies running everything. But I use a fraction of that because these pixels don't use much juice. This actually uses less power than anything that I've ever used before. When I used to have just the Home Depot lights that you buy at the store, the regular ones, they use twice the power as this. It's bonkers. But that's it for now. I will update with a behind the scenes that'll go more into how I made all the harnesses, how I ran everything, how the setup works, how I synced all the instances across with custom effects and custom palettes, what you have to do to make everything play well, because annoyingly I couldn't find any of that stuff online because I guess my setup's weird. But that's it for now. In the next week or two I'll probably do a second behind the scenes, but that's it. Thanks for watching.